In the previous videos, we learned how lists store data and how functions help organize logic. Now it's time to bring them together. In real data problems, a list often represents a single column of values. In this video, we will break down lists in detail and see how they are actually used. In this video, we will learn how list operations map to real data tasks, how functions make list logic reusable, how to build simple data pipelines, and how to avoid hidden bugs early. Almost every operation you perform on a list fits into one of four patterns: iterate, aggregate, transform, or filter. In this video, we will learn how to work with each of these in practice. We use a for loop to iterate over a list. Let's understand this with an example. Suppose we want a function that prints each item in a list. We define a function that takes a list as input. Inside the function, we use a for loop to go through the list. For each item, we print its value. This process is called iteration, and it's the foundation of most list operations. Now let's test the function. We create a list called prices with the values 100, 200, and 300. Then we call the print items function with this list. When we run the code, it prints each item in the list exactly as expected. Now let's move to the next operation, aggregation. Aggregation takes many values and reduces them to a single result. Let's understand this with an example. We will define a calculate average function. This function computes the average of a list of numbers. If the list is empty, it returns none. Otherwise, it calculates the average by dividing the sum of the numbers by the length of the list and returns the result. Next, we use this function to calculate the average of the prices list. We store the returned value in a variable called average price and print it. When we run the code, the computed average looks correct. Now let's move to filtering data from a list. This is another operation commonly used with lists. We will write a function that removes invalid prices from a list. First, we define a function that takes a prices list as input. Inside the function, we create an empty list called valid prices. If we are changing any data in the list, we should always return new list and not modify the input list. It is best practice for working with lists. Then we loop through the prices list. If a price is greater than 0, we append it to valid prices. At the end, the function returns the valid prices list. To test this, we create a list of prices and call the getValidPrices function with that list. We store the return result in a variable called cleanPrices and print it. When we run the code, the output shows that invalid prices have been removed as expected. Now let's understand the transform operation. In this case, we will write a function that returns a list of discounted prices. The function takes two inputs, a prices list and a discount. The discount has a default value of 10. Inside the function, we create a new list called discounted prices. Notice that we do not modify the original prices list. Instead, we built a new list for the transformed values. We loop through each price in the prices list, calculate the discounted price, and append it to discounted prices. At the end, the function returns the discounted prices list. In this video, we didn't just learn list syntax, we learned a way of thinking. Iteration lets you look at data one value at a time. Filtering helps you clean it. Transformation lets you change it. Before moving on, try this on your own. Write one function that filters a list, then pass its output into a function that transforms it. Next, we will extend the same thinking to dictionaries, where data becomes more structured and more realistic. Thanks for watching. I am Aksa Zafar, and on MLTude, I teach data science and machine learning in a simple step by step way. Practice a little, and I will see you in the next video. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to MLTude for more AI and machine learning tutorials.